Okay, hi. So at the end of September, I had done a whole bunch of scans and tests and things, and we did not know what was happening. Didn't know why. I was not feeling good, and we had reached the point of booking for scopes and then waiting to do them and find more information about what was happening in my body. So I was booked in for a colonoscopy and a gastroscopy, and that happened like 2 weeks ago, and we have information now. So on the bright side, it is not nothing. I was not gaslighting myself. My body was not gaslighting us. We just had not found what was wrong yet. So we did the scopes and found out that I have a hiatus hernia. So apparently this is not that rare. Apparently like 1 in 3 people have a hiatus hernia. That's crazy to me that we just live with these things. I need to have surgery to sort that out. And I'm going for surgery on the 1st of December. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Here's the thing. So I have mentioned before that I have a fair amount of medical trauma. So these kinds of situations create a pretty complex relationship with my disability and medical people and like the medical system. I had the scopes under sedation and I was ready for it to be disastrous and just horrendous, and it was a pretty decent experience as far as like how decent a scope can be, and it was pretty unexpected even though I trust my doctor and he's awesome. Trauma runs deep and it's hard to override those narratives. So it's hard for me to trust medical people in general. But we're working on it and we are trying to build more positive medical experiences, and I'm working a lot in therapy in how to advocate and manage my disability within medical scenarios and spaces. It's quite a journey and it's hard, but we are doing it. I think that in all of these medical situations that I end up in, I have a lot of anxiety and frustration with my body around medical things and they just not having answers for like the time because my body reacts in weird ways to things, and that's frustrating to me because I am very much about efficiency, as you probably have realized. But this whole experience with the scopes and sedation was really positive, I guess we can say that. It was not traumatic, I'm gonna say. The team was super caring and really validating of my experience and also just acknowledged the knowledge that I have from living with my disability and that because I live with it every day, I kind of do know some stuff about what works for me. Little questions go a long way in supporting somebody's mental health while they're trying to figure out some physical medical health stuff. Simple things like the nurse asking me what veins work well and like how does she need to engage with me, asking me what works for me. I'm not really used to that. I have some trauma around like IVs and things, and I said to her, like, just don't tell me anything. I don't need the information. I don't need the steps that you are doing. Just do the thing. To her credit, she took that really seriously. I probably should have told her to tell me when she was gonna go or when she was doing the IV. But you know, we live in a life lesson. She listened to me. I'm kind of not used to people in medical spaces listening to me, and so when she actively listened to the exact thing that I said, that was not something I was prepared for. And the rest of it was super chill. They were so helpful, and my disability stuff wasn't even a big deal at all. They kind of managed it like it was standard care, which people should do, but they don't do that, in my experience. So positive all around. I think I need more experiences like this so that I have more evidence for myself to believe that my disability is not going to negatively impact the care that I receive. I have these very deeply embedded narratives around how I can be supported and trauma. So working through it with situations like this one is helpful. I appreciate them for that and playing this role in like me figuring out some mental health stuff while we go. So yay, that's that. I'm told there are a couple ways that you can address hiatus hernias without having surgery. Things like losing weight or um, eating less more often, like the day. Um, but those options don't really work for me. I'm currently not really eating that much because I don't feel good, and if I eat less, I'm going to be eating nothing, and that's not a good option for us. Also, I think the fact that I'm disabled, this is entirely my opinion. I think the fact that I live my entire life in a seated position also kind of is a factor in how we find solutions and which solutions make the most sense. And that's why I think solving medical problems like this is tricky because everybody's situation is different. I'm very grateful that I have doctors who see that uniqueness and just recognize it and don't make it like it makes their job harder. It also makes my life harder. So it's cool that we're on the same page with that. With the surgery coming in a couple of days, I'm nervous, but I'm not really nervous about the surgery. I'm mostly nervous about like being in the hospital because I have to be there for 3 days, and that means that people have to support my daily needs that are not related to the surgery. My disability needs historically, that has not always gone super well. So that makes me nervous, but we are trying to find strategies and solutions that mitigate those stresses, and hopefully we have a more positive experience this time of hospital life. I'm also happy that I am having the surgery and that we have found a solution, and I'm gonna feel better. And I'm gonna be able to recognize when different things are wrong with my body. Up until now, nausea has been my constant companion. So it's not differentiated between different things that are happening. It's just always here. So I'm excited to feel better and to hopefully, hopefully being able to rebuild some narratives around medical care for disabled people and just having a generally better health situation.